Today we're going to go through Neville Goddard, Prayer, the Art of Believing. I'm going to go through this chapter by chapter. Today's chapter is Chapter 1, The Law of Reversibility. Pray for my soul. More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of. Tennyson. Prayer is an art and requires practice. The first requirement is controlled imagination. Parade and vain repetitions are foreign to prayer. Its exercise requires tranquility and peace of mind. Use not vain repetitions, for prayer is done in secret, and thy Father, which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly. So what Neville is saying is anytime you imagine something is an act of prayer, is an act connecting to the divine. Your creative impulses, your creative faculties are, in fact, your prayer, your form of worship. The ceremonies that are customarily used in prayer are merely superstitious and have been invented to give prayer an air of solemnity. Those who do it practice the art of prayer are often ignorant of the laws that control it. They attribute the results obtained to the ceremonies and mistake the letter for the spirit. The essence of prayer is faith, but faith must be permeated with understanding to be given that active quality which it does not possess when standing alone. So faith is belief in the unseen. Faith is belief before something has occurred. Faith is belief before you have seen that outcome. So more or less what Neville's telling you here is believe it before you see it. Feel it deep in your heart and make every single aspect of that true. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. This book is an attempt to reduce the unknown to the known by pointing out conditions on which prayers are answered and without which they cannot be answered. It defines the conditions governing prayer in laws that are simply a generalization of our observations. The universal law of reversibility is the foundation on which its claims are based. Mechanical motion caused by speech was known for a long time before anyone dreamed of the possibility of an inverse transformation. That is the reproduction of speech by mechanical motion, the phonograph. So he's explaining the phenomena through this example. For a long time, electricity was produced by friction without ever a thought that friction in turn could be produced by electricity. Whether or not man succeeds in reversing the transformation of a force, he knows nevertheless that all transformations of force are reversible. So what he's talking about here is Newton's laws of physics. For every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. If something can happen that causes something, then the cause can also be the first part of it. So what he's going to carry this over to is the act of faith, the act of carrying yourself as if it was already true before the moment, because I want you to understand that your creative faculties, your imagination, is the path to whatever it is that you want. This is not just me saying this. This is William Blake. This is Nietzsche. This is Emerson. This is Jung. Pretty much any great creative, pretty much any great intellectual believe that anything could be accomplished through the power of the mind, through the power of creativity. And so few people have the capability to focus today. So few people have the capability to see themselves already doing it, see themselves and experience the things so that they know what to do. If you imagine a picture so clear that everything seemed so correct, and you imagine yourself and visualize yourself there for hours upon hours upon hours, even just a few seconds, then you would have a clear path to get there, because now you are feeling as if you've already done it. Now you feel like it's already possible. And just feeling like something's possible immediately makes it possible. If heat can produce mechanical motion, so mechanical motion can produce heat. If electricity produces magnetism, magnetism too can develop electric currents. If the voice can cause undulatory currents, so can such currents reproduce the voice, and so on. Cause and effect, energy and matter, action and reaction are the same and interconvertible. This law is of the highest importance because it enables you to foresee the inverse transformation once the direct transformation is verified. If you knew how you would feel were you to realize your objective, then inversely you would know what state you could realize were you to awaken in yourself such a feeling. So what he said here is, if you knew how you would feel, then you could feel it now to get yourself to that state. And what he said is so important, because I need you to understand the difference between the people that accomplish what they want and the people that don't, the people that are unhappy their whole lives, is simply the belief and the faith that is already here. And that's really what Neville's telling you right now. The injunction to pray believing that you already possess what you pray for is based upon a knowledge of the laws of inverse transformation. If you realize prayer produces in you a definite feeling of or state of consciousness, then inversely, that particular feeling or state of consciousness must produce your realized prayer. Think as if you've already done it and you'll be able to do it. Go into a job interview believing that you already got the job. Go into a game believing that you've already won it. How are you going to feel? How are you going to act? Now imagine if your entire life was based off of this state. Now imagine if your entire existence was based off of this idea. Because all transformation of force are reversible, you should always assume the feeling of your fulfilled wish. You should awaken within you the feeling that you are and have which heretofore you desire to be and possess. This is easily done by contemplating the joy that would be yours were your objective and accomplished facts so that you live and move and have your being in the feeling that your wish is realized. The feeling of the wish fulfilled, if assumed and sustained, must objectify the state that would have created it. This law explains why faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, and why he calleth things that are not seen as though they were seen, and things that were not seen become seen. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and continue feeling that it is fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself. If a physical fact can produce a psychological state can produce a physical fact. If the effect A can be produced by the cause B, then inversely the effect B can be produced by the cause A. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that you have received them, and ye shall have received them. Mark 11:24. So this is a very powerful chapter, and it talks about a few different things that are essential. But really what I want you to understand is there always has to be a start. There always has to be a thing that signals on the change. And the secret to any change is a change in state of consciousness, a change in idea, a change in perception. You know, before Michael Jordan could be considered the greatest basketball player ever, he had to believe it himself. He had to know that if he put in the work, he would do it. Otherwise, he would never go to those practices. Otherwise, he would never believe in himself. Otherwise, he would never go out on the court and put it all out there. There's a certain level of commitment. There's a certain level of understanding that you have to accept something to be true before you can do it. You always have to be chasing a little bit better than you already are to get any sort of progress, any sort of achievement. Otherwise, you will forever be living in your own shadow. You will forever be falling short of your potential. And this is really, really essential because, you know, do you think Bezos believed he was a billionaire? How do I say this? Bezos, before he was a billionaire, believed he was a billionaire. Bezos, before he built Amazon, believed he could build Amazon. If he didn't believe it to be true, that he wouldn't be able to do it because he would have stopped at books. He would have stopped when he was still in the garage in debt, begging his parents for an investment, and all of these things that he has today would not come to fruition simply because if you don't believe it to be true, then how can you pursue it? How can you continue going? How can you see the path? How can you see the future? How can you have faith in something if you don't already feel it to be possible? And that's the power of faith. That's the power of believing in something before it's here. And that's really what I want you to do. So as we continue to get into the rest of the book, Neville's going to reveal some very, very important stuff. I'm not going to spoil it because I'm going to feel like I'm going to be repeating myself. And Neville has such a great way of words that I'm going to allow a little bit of a cliffhanger. So if you enjoyed this, stay tuned for the next chapter. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.